The same thing Walton can tell LeBron is the same thing Pat Riley, who was an even worse player than Walton, could tell Magic Johnson. Ta-da! There it is. So it's not a matter of if you. Most guys who are good coaches were not good players. That's just the fact. Most guys who are good coaches were not good players. I mean, those who can do, those who can't teach. But with the Rondo thing, I'm in agreement with him, man. Chris Paul is a cheap shot artist. He's made a reputation of a cheap shot artist. I mean, you don't have to buy it. That's the facts. Pat Riley he had less responsibility than Luke Walton. Excuse me. He had less responsibility than Luke Walton. He came in. He was a commentator. He left the booth and became the coach of the Lakers, and was coaching Kareem, Magic Johnson, Jamal Wilkes, guys who probably heated his ass up with Jamal Wilkes and Kareem. He was coaching guys who probably put 10, 12 on them in a quarter. So it's not about what you can do. It's about how you. Rondo and Paul are dirty. I just don't believe. See, my thing is this. I'm forced to agree with Rondo, angry black man, because of this. If somebody spit on me, I ain't poking them nowhere. I'm gonna poke them in their fucking face with a fist. I'm kicking your ass. There is no amount of self-control when someone spits on you. When you believe that someone spit on you, I just don't think that the average person is going, wait a minute, I don't want to get suspended, but this dude spit on me. What should I do? I think you just start immediately kicking this dude's drawers in his ass. And if you really believe he spit on you or spit on you purposely, you're not poking him in his forehead. I believe he lost his cool and he thought Rondo was going to back down, and then when Rondo put that two-piece on him, he had to say something. That's just me. I just think that. That's just me. I mean, Chris Paul knows that people gonna side with him because Rondo has had issues. He had issues with Doc Rivers. He had issues with Dwayne Wade. And when you a media darling, you get the benefit of the doubt. Exactly, I agree. Pat Riley did have a much more difficult job. He was dealing with a bunch of Hall of Famers. Norm Nixon would have been a Hall of Famer. Byron Scott. Let's not forget Bob McAdoo, Jamal Wilkes. I mean, this dude, and a dude who, if the next person tell me that the next person, what's good, Larry, what's good, brother? Thanks, welcome aboard, brother. Back to the bench. It's been a long time since we've seen you. Hey, I'm a firm believer. Hey, the next time somebody tell me Big Shot Bob belong in the Hall of Fame, I might put a mouthpiece in my mouth and half-ass spit on them. Because if Big Shot Bob belongs in the Hall of Fame, where the hell should Michael Cooper be? Because, hey, if people keep telling me LeBron James keep hitting these tie game shots that don't mean anything because the game is tied and there's no pressure, Robert Horry has never hit a shot that count. Because when Robert Horry took every one of those shots, if he would have missed every one of them, nobody in the history of the world would have been like, man, this motherfucker Robert Horry done blew it for us. Nobody. They just said Olajuwon couldn't get it done. They just said Shaq and Kobe some clowns. They just and he did miss it when he first got to the Spurs, and nobody mentions that. He was that man was a brick mason in San Antonio the first year he got down there. And nobody says a word. So the next time somebody tell me Big Shot Bob is supposed to be in the Hall of Fame and Michael Cooper not in there, just understand, if you're close to me, I'm going to put my Rondo mouthpiece in, and you might get some spit on you. I'm just saying. Because Big Shot Bob ain't hit a big shot yet. Big Shot Bob made some great shots. He's not a Hall of Fame. Not even close. A-Trap told those folks to stop it. Thank you, angry black man. Because, man, I am so sick and goddamn tired I'm not even just sick and tired. I'm not Fannie Lou Hamer sick and tired. I'm sick and goddamn tired of people telling me that this dude, Broke Shot Bob, is a Hall of Famer. That man is the luckiest dude in the history of the world. He must, you know what? It's only one person in the world luckier than Big Shot Bob, and that's that dude or that woman who won that 1.6 last night. That's the only dude. Hey, that's it. I mean, but that's another conversation for another day. I ain't trying to hear no Bob Orry. It's the goddamn Hall of Fame. Stop it, man. Now, with that being said, do you guys, man, since we talking this NBA smoke, man, I want to get this. It's Blake Griffin back, and it's, even though we only 1 week into the season, seeing how Dwayne Casey and the coaching staff up in Detroit is making Blake Griffin look like Blake Griffin pre-Doc. No shot at Doc. He from Chicago. Gotta show him love. But pre-Doc is Dwayne Casey showing you that the Toronto Raptors made a mistake by firing him. Me personally, I think the Toronto Raptors are in a situation where they're rebuilding, and they don't want to admit they're rebuilding. The reason I believe they're rebuilding is, why would you get a dude who has openly said, I don't want to come to your team? And this is a dude who's openly said, hey, I don't give a damn about this bread. I'm going to be where I want to be. People can talk that nonsense and that trash about Paul George didn't want to play with LeBron. Paul George got a offer from the Oklahoma City Thunder that he couldn't refuse of $219 million, $220 million at the end of it. He's going to redo that deal in 3 years, and then he's going to get $220 million. That's why his ass stayed. But no hate for the Lakers and cheese. I just hate all the attention the team get. And that's exactly. So why are the Lakers getting all this attention? But again, back to Dwayne. I don't even want to go on that. Dwayne Casey. Are we convinced that Dwayne Casey is a good coach now? Because is it that the players in Toronto boo? Is it that the players in Toronto were just not good enough? I do believe that Dwayne Casey and DeMar DeRozan get a bad rap. The reason I believe Dwayne Casey and DeMar DeRozan get a bad rap is this. Dwayne Casey and DeMar DeRozan could not get past the Michael Jordan and the Kobe Bryant of this era. That's it. They could not get past the DeMar DeRozan and the Kobe Bryant of this. The Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan of this era. And what I mean by that is this. In the 80s, Iceman Gervin and Artis Gilmore could not get past Magic Johnson and the Los Angeles Lakers. Mark Aguirre and the Mavericks could not get past Magic Johnson and the Los Angeles Lakers. The Milwaukee Bucks with Sidney Moncrief, Marcus Johnson, and that crew could not get past the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers. That does not diminish Marcus Johnson, George Gervin, X-Man, and the Seattle Supersonics, Mark Aguirre and that crew, and anybody else that couldn't get past Dominique Wilkins. That does not diminish them because they couldn't get past the greatest player of their era. And for Dwayne Casey and DeMar DeRozan to get that jacket put on them, I think it's wrong, man. They were kicking everybody else in the NBA's ass. Dwayne Casey is such a good coach that they tried the mid-range game, and then DeMar DeRozan and his sidekick, they started shooting more threes, and they still couldn't beat LeBron. And then they tried the ball movement. They switched. They tried with 3 different styles to beat LeBron James, and they couldn't beat LeBron James. Where is the problem not being able to get past Patrick Ewing, getting past Michael Jordan? Reggie Miller not being able to get past Michael Jordan. They're not known as chokers. Their coaches aren't known as not inadequate. But somehow, some way, DeMar DeRozan not being able to do anything with the greatest player of this time, they're looked upon as failures. I don't get that. And if Dwayne Casey successfully turns around the Detroit Pistons, even if he can get them past a 6 seed, Okay, if he can get them past the 6th seed, I think Dwayne Casey and I think Dwayne Casey is showing that he's a better coach than we give him credit for. Dwayne Casey and DeRozan earned part of that jacket, bro. They got swept 3 years in a row by the Wizards. And with the Wizards situation, then you lose to LeBron and get swept. But you know what? I can't defend that. But is that a jacket? Did they earn? Okay, how much of that jacket did they earn? Because I'm only giving them the collar. The collar and the label. Because when they lost to the Wizards, okay, maybe they underestimated them. And we saw the Seattle Supersonics lose to the Denver Nuggets in the first round. We've seen a bunch of teams that were supposed to win lose. So I'm giving them a pass for that. I cannot nail them to the cross for losing to LeBron James. I just cannot do that. This dude is arguably a top 3 player of all time. And I just come in here and impose my will on y'all. Remember that year, I think the Bulls went down 3-1 to the Knicks. And Jordan and the Bulls ran off 3 on the Knicks. Or they went up 2-0. The Knicks went up 2-0 and then lost the next 4. You can also go back to when the Pistons had the Bulls by the throat. The Bulls go up 2-1. The Pistons come out with the Jordan rules. You saw it in the 30 for 30. They set Jordan merch out on the curb. So, but Jordan ultimately came back and avenged it. But let's be honest, the Pistons were finished. They had gone through battles with LA. They had gone through big time battles with Boston, and they had also gone through battles with the Bulls. So maybe they were tired. I would give them a pass, but they get swept. But it's hard. I mean, see, the thing is, the intelligent part of me and the sports fan part of me, I'm forced to agree with you. But I'm just looking at it. If DeMar DeRozan and Dwayne Casey show improve this year, and they come out a whole lot better than we anticipate them to be, I'm forced to give them a pass. Because I just can't say it's shame in losing to LeBron James. That's all I'm saying. To say, here's a better point. How can I crucify you for losing to the best? I just can't do it. I cannot do that. I cannot do it. I'm sorry. It goes against everything that I believe in, but I just can't say, hey man, you're a chump because you lost to the best. Because Dominique Wilkins lost to Larry Bird. Dominique Wilkins is the man. I get your point. Dominique Wilkins outplayed Larry Bird in Game 7 and lost anyway. Maybe DeMar DeRozan should have showed up a little more. Okay, bro, if they both delivered, they should try to play out team and not get set. That's all I'm saying. What do we say then? If they do well in the playoffs this year and show improve with the Spurs and show improve with the Pistons, how does that jacket fit them then? Because then it comes down to LeBron James' greatness. Now, on the other side of that coin is you're forced to think about, as I was just about to say, Dr. J showing his ass but still losing against the Celtics, showing his ass still losing against the Lakers. Dominique Wilkins showing his ass but never getting past the Pistons. Patrick Ewing never beat Michael Jordan. But the argument is they never got swept. So I'm forced to, that's why I say I would give them the collar, I would give them the label, but I can't put that whole jacket on them. Because I'm not saying DeMar DeRozan is on the level of a Dominique Wilkins or a Dr. J, but I just can't kill you for losing to LeBron James. Because if we are going to say LeBron James is at worst the 4th best player in NBA history, to get your ass kicked by the 4th best player in NBA history, I can't really be mad at you. I really can't. Now, Joel Embiid. Is Joel Embiid a stooge? Or is he just a dude who's approaching the league like Shaq